Now, if I'm being completely honest, I didn't feel entirely confident about shooting this video because I don't think I am in a good place financially to be talking about abundance and abundance mindset and whatnot. But I again thought that it was the perfect time for me to talk to you about abundance, because then if I have everything in abundance and I'm talking about abundance, then it's like I'm talking from a comfortable position. But if I am not there and I'm still or advocating or preaching the good news about operating abundance mindset and giving, it just goes to prove that this is something that works. I would say that the first way to operate in and with an abundance mindset is giving. Giving, giving, giving. Yeah, I know it sounds almost contradictory, but just hear me out. So I mean, I know it sounds contradictory because you're thinking that if you want something, a lot of something, then you should be keeping a lot of that thing instead of giving it out. So if you have five shoes and you want to have like an abundance of shoe, you would want to keep all five, right? And not give out like one or two, because then that reduces the number. Here's the thing about giving: giving activates blessings, it activates increase, it activates abundance. And that is why God, in His infinite wisdom, even instructs us to give. He said, give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, would He cause men to give unto your bosom. The Bible also makes us understand that when you cast your bread upon the waters, you will find it there after several days. So this, I believe, giving is like a divine principle that activates blessings, and hoarding does not really do. Now, all the other things I'm going to be talking to you about in terms of operating in and with an abundance mindset, you can do all of that. But if you do not do the given part, you will just not receive. That's just how it works. And that is why it's important. I remember one day when I went to church, a preacher man used this analogy, and I want to share with all of you. He used the tap and cup analogy. And he goes like this: you know that the cup is always receiving from the tap. So the tap gives water and the cup kind of like takes the water. What you notice is because of that, the tap is always above the cup. So that goes to show that yes, indeed, in receiving there's also blessing. But that's why the Bible said it is more blessed to give than to it is more blessed to give than to receive. Because then it is in the act of giving that you are more blessed. It is in the act of giving that you open the doors for your blessings to receive more blessings. And that is one of the things that have guided my life in operating an abundance mindset. Let's consider the story from the Bible between the prophet Elisha or Elijah. I'm not sure which one of them. Please correct me in the comment section down below. So this prophet went out and he was hungry, and so he saw a widow and then asked for bread. And the widow explained to him that she didn't have much. I mean, all that she was going to eat with the son, and then they'll sleep and die. Or that was all they had. But the prophet still asked that she made the bread for him. And when she made the bread for the prophet blessed her, and then she didn't die. They had more than enough oil and flour, and they lived a long for long. I mean, they didn't die immediately. So that just goes to show you how much giving activates blessing. Let's just imagine what would have happened if this widow said, all that I had, all that I have is not enough, so I'm not going to share with you. She would have died. And that goes to remind me of something my mom always says. My mom always tells us in every that Dongmipa Undakan Bioduna. And that just means that if you are stingy or you are not kind, you don't like giving, you only eat one type of food. Because she believes that if you cook and you give it out to your neighbor, and let's say it's rice and stew today, tomorrow your neighbor might pound fufu and give it to you. The next day he or she might pound yam and give to you. But once you think that you have a bag of rice and it's not enough, so you're not going to give your neighbor, it's only rice that you eat for the rest of your life, because that's all you really have. And so that goes to re-emphasize the point that if you want to operate with an abundance mindset, you have to give. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I didn't feel entirely confident about shooting this video because I don't think I am in a good place financially to be talking about abundance and abundance mindset and whatnot. But I again thought that it was the perfect time for me to talk to you about abundance, because then if I have everything in abundance and I'm talking about abundance, then it's like I'm talking from a comfortable position. But if I am not there and I'm still or advocating or preaching the good news about operating abundance mindset and giving, it just goes to prove that this is something that works. So when I shared my video on how I received a car gift from my client. One person, there were so many responses I got, but I just want to share one of them with you. This was a voice note I received from Lady. So now Lady is the one that does all my beautiful wigs that I use to shoot my videos, and so I'll link her Instagram handle up there so that you can contact him. She sent me a voice note, and I could sense the intensity and emotion in her voice, because when I shared the story and checking the timeline, that was around the time she got pregnant. She got married. Sorry, she got married, and around that same time, a lot of my friends got married, and I wasn't in a good place financially, and I knew that that was what was going to really test this quality of giving. So even though I wasn't in a good place, I tried to be there for almost all of them. I didn't give as much as I would have given, but I made sure, even if it's one CD, I sent it to them as a show of my love, even though I didn't have it and I didn't know when the monies were going to be returned to me. And so when she watched the video, she was moved and she was like, it's not for her, it's not even about the car. It's about the fact that I was going through all of that, but I still made it to her wedding. I still gave to her. That really moved her. And I believe that that is, and at that time I hadn't received the car, of course, but I was still doing that. I was still, giving, because I knew that even though I was just left with a few CDs to live on till only God knows when, I knew that the way to go wasn't to hoard the money. The way to go was to give it out strategically and under the influence and inspiration of the Holy Spirit. And when I did, it activated bigger blessings for me. And so I just think that, like, you can operate with an abundance mindset if you are not giving. And I do understand that it might sound big and difficult, but you just take it a day at a time. My mom always tells us that if you have 1,000 CDs and you can't give 100 CDs out of it to somebody, you can't give 300 CDs out of it to somebody. If God blesses you with $1 million, you will not be able to give anyone 1,000 CDs. And so it's not really, with an abundance mindset, you don't see how much you don't have. You always see how much you have and how much you can give to people. And so this is not to judge anyone or put anyone's that. I believe that anyone can start from anywhere. I am not that good of a giver. This video is even inspirational and motivational to me. And so I believe that we can all start from where we are. It doesn't have to be you giving out 1,000 CDs. It doesn't have to be you even giving out 10 CDs or 100 CDs. It's just about forming the habits here. And so it can just be one CD. I remember one of the things one of my business partners taught me at the very early stages of my business life, is that every day, the days that she is born, anytime she's coming to the market or whatnot, she makes sure to pay somebody's trotro fee in and out. And that's just like, because she understood that it's in giving that to activate the blessing to receiving more. Okay, so it can just be one CD, it can just be buying a sachet of water for a colleague, it can just be checking up on your grandma and sending her 5 CDs airtime. It's not really about the big things, it is about the small thing. Because just like my mom said, when you are faithful, and the Bible also says is, when you are faithful in little, then God um, you know, can trust you with much. But if you are not faithful in the little, you think that the little is too small to share, then you will not be blessed to have much more. And so here's the challenge for all of us, to just start with one CD, 5 CDs, calling somebody, smiling to somebody, giving that somebody a hug, checking up on somebody. It's really not supposed to always be about ourselves when you're operating abundance mindset, but reaching out to somebody and giving, because you know that that is what will open doors for you.